So, some people were actually asking me to give an opinion about Conquest and the PvP Vault and how gearing will be in the War Within, and if it was actually a nerf compared to Dragonflight, or if it was actually a good thing when they actually removed the PvP Vault. And some people were mad, some people were very happy, some people uh, got satisfied with the change that we got on the War Within patch, the latest one. But I'm going to give you my true opinion about it. But first, to understand the PvP Vault, you have to also remember how it works. So you actually are a bit less mad about it. I'm going to give you opinions that would maybe change your mind about it to a positive sense. First and foremost, no big surprise. I'm actually very happy it's gone. But I'm going to give you why I'm actually happy. In Shadowlands or Dragonflight, how did you gain Vault boxes for PvP? Basically, you had to play rated environments or rated BGs, arenas, like rated arenas, or Soul Shuffle in Dragonflight. And the honor you would gain from those three game modes, and now also Battleground Blitz, now you can also do that. From all those four game modes, you would gain honor, and from that honor, you would unlock PvP vaults. And before in Shadowlands, you had to be as high as possible so you gain the best item possible so you don't have to grind the honor. In Dragonflight, that was gone. And now it's only like get the piece and you're done with it. And there is still a lot of like RNG factors, like for example, you getting the first vault with a big weapon while someone had like bracers, or you got the worst trinket possible for your class or for your race or for your spec. So obviously, the RNG factors would give you a lot of benefits if you would have like a lot of luck. For example, 2 tier sets in the first week, in the second week, and then you would get the weapon, for example. That would be gaining you a lot of like leeway, and you would basically be nearly fully geared if you were actually like the fifth week of Dragonflight, if you were very lucky with the vaults. But you had to do that on every single character. So it means that, hey, if you play 5 characters, you have to vault it completely. And if you were wanting to have the best item possibilities, you would then have to vault 3 times on the character. That would bring to a lot of like unbalanced possibilities. For example, you facing someone that has more gear than you, while technically it should not happen because it is the first week or the second week or third week, and you already are like in a disadvantage before the gates are open. And we all know that gear should not really matter too much in rated. Personally, I'm okay if it's mattering a bit, so you have like some sort of carrot on the stick. I understand like some people want like some normalization like Guild Wars 2, but I have played Guild Wars 2. I see people leave the game very quickly because there is no like vertical progression. It's still MMO. Some people want to gain items by playing, and once they are fully geared, they're gone. For example, and even those people we need for the numbers into PvP. Now, with the War Within, there is no PvP vault. The thing that you are going to have is probably bigger caps. So the first week, the second week, third week, you will have bigger caps where you can then buy items normally by grinding a bit more. So you would buy maybe after 10 weeks, I think, 2 extra items. So that was the calculation. So basically, instead of like being geared through RNG and being lucky, you would be geared by just playing the game like everyone. So everyone is having the same amount of points and the same amount of items. It will only depend on what you spend. And now you have also a change which is basically giving you a quest. So in Season 1, players can earn a set of conquest weapons suitable at their specialization without having to spend conquest. So basically, the first weapon you want to buy is not something you can buy. It is something you can grind very quickly. So players can pick up the quest Weapons of Conquest either by entering a rated PvP match or by going to Dornogal, which is a like NPC, to speak with the Conquest Quartermaster, Lalandi. Oh, Dornogal is the capital. Excuse me. Lalandi is the Quartermaster. This quest will task them with earning 2.5k conquest, which is achievable on week 3 of the season. Players can then complete the quest by speaking with Lalandi. She will give you weapons, shields, offhands appropriate for your specialization. After completing this quest, players will be able to use conquest to purchase weapons from Lalandi as normal. So basically, if you are a Retribution Paladin, you only want to play Retribution Paladin, you get a quest, Weapons of Conquest, basically the first rated PvP match you're going through, or you're going to take the quest from the quest giver. You are going to get the quest and you have to earn 2.5k conquest in total, which is again achievable in week 3 because of the gains that you get week to week basis. You would then complete the quest and get weapons for free. So you would have an item extra, which you would maybe have if you were lucky with the vault. For me, it's a straight benefit, a straight gain, a straight positive, because of the fact that there is no RNG. Because you and I, if we play together or we play against each other, you have played until 2.5k conquest, I have played until 2.5k conquest. We both have the same amount of gear, the same amount of items, the same amount of points spent if we are spending our points. It is not going, of course, the difference will be like on what are you spending, basically. I think that's a better system. So basically it is normalized. If you do play PvP, you will be conquest capped very quickly. This is not like very intensive, especially if you're playing week to week basis. It is quite fast. The only thing that is very slow is, if, for example, if you have to cap someone that is actually like fresh to the serve, like fresh to the season. For example, after week 10, you try to cap it completely. Yeah, it is very long, unfortunately. So they need to actually buff the gains from week to week basis. That's my opinion, to help the alts get gear pretty fast. But overall, I do feel like this is always something we wanted. We wanted less RNG. We wanted more fairness in PvP. And now the RNG is gone. You don't need to grind your vault. So if you don't want to like fall behind, well, no worries. You don't miss anything from the vault. You basically just need to cap it out. So if you have not played your druid for 5 weeks and you're scared to actually wanting to vault because you know already you are behind from the rest, well, you don't need to be scared. Now you can just pick up your druid, cap it out, and you would have the same amount of gear as I have played since week 1. It is a fantastic system. I personally don't really want or need vault, but the extra thing that is very good is, for example, for PvPers that want to PvE as well. So they don't need to choose PvP items to keep it up. They could actually play PvE if they want. They can basically get a vault for PvE and get the PvP conquest gear by just playing conquest, playing rated to get conquest and to spend that conquest. Same for PvEers. Now they know they're not going to be behind. They just need to vault it out. They need to cap it out. Excuse me, and they would have the same gear as you and I, that would have played since season 1, for example, since week 1. So for me, it's a huge thing. I think it's fantastic. I think currently they're doing very good decisions. I know spec-wise, sometimes you have a spec that needs a rework and doesn't really get it. Enhancement Shaman, for example, or Elemental Shaman, for example. But obviously, they try to do their best for PvP. They try to nerf a few CCs. They try to give you less button bloat. They try to give you more things to do. They try to give you more ways to gain conquest. They try to give you more ways to enjoy the game. So overall, I do feel like War Within is in a good spot. I understand like some people are like on the defensive, like for example with War Within not being like extremely good. For me, it is actually already extremely good because it is a straight upgrade from Dragonflight, which I found in retrospective that it was a good expansion. It was just really bad season 3 and season 4 how little like attention we got for PvP. But overall, if you take it in an outside world, like in a vacuum, where 10 years later, would you think Dragonflight is good? I think Dragonflight would have been good. I just think lore-wise, I think PvE-wise, I think those things I'm not really enjoying too much. But I think PvP-wise, if you think about like the first implementation of Social in season 1, it was actually very good until they changed a few things. And the same for healers. I think healer gameplay, they try to make you appeal to that. And I know it's very hard to believe, but I think adding damage to healers is something that is actually good for DPSers to want to play the healer. For example, if I couldn't spam Wrath or Starfire whenever I can as a resto druid, then I would not be playing the resto druid. I would find it very boring. Same for Shaman. I like to do Stormkeepers and trying to finish a target, for example. But yeah, it's a quick video, 10 minutes. I didn't want to make like a 20-minute video about it. Basically, try to be happy about something you get for free, first and foremost, but also no vaults, so no RNG. There will be no gear discrepancies, except if you're like behind on the season, then you just need to cap it out and take the bullet, or like play something that would get you gear without like ruining your MMR. But basically, that's just taking yourself playing the game, which is normal. Even in PvE, if you don't play the game from the start, obviously you're going to be behind on DPS because you don't have the gear. So you should also try to see it in that way. It's still MMORPG. If you wanted to play a MOBA without anything like mattering, I understand, but I don't think World of Warcraft is really something for you. That might be that, of course. If you like the PvP content, obviously you're going to be capped, so there will be no problem with gear. So if you really are someone that is a diehard PvPer, you will never have a gearing problem because you are the one playing the game. The one that is not playing the game, he has a gearing problem, but if he didn't like the game right now, why would he play and why would he try to catch up? So again, that's a bit of food for thought about that subject. So I'm very positive. I'm trying to do a few review videos here and there, but I'm thinking about which ones I want to do, or if I want to like do a tier list about the things that I already have tested, for example, because I did test a lot of stuff, but I don't know if I want to do a full review about something that not really like that passionate about. For example, it's very hard to make a video about DH because I don't really care about them. It plays well, it's strong, but I'm not really a DH fan. Like I prefer enhancement shaman, while enhancement shaman is way worse than DH, for example. So like being meta doesn't make me want to play the spec. So that's me. But it doesn't make it bad, it just makes it not wanting to be played by me. So again, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.